Hi you guys, it's Marquet here, Lemon Creation, with another very distressed project for Lindy's gang and for Lindy's March Color Challenge, which you can find on Lindy's gang blog. So I decided to do the voiceover again. Sometimes I'm fed up with voiceovers. I feel like I'm running, I don't explain well enough, and it's just like that. It's just pain, a little bit of pain. Then again, I like to talk to you. I would like to have a feedback back, so that's cool. As you can see, I'm working in my own art journal, which I made from scratch, so I can remove the pages. The pages are a mixed media paper. And I'll be using Stamperia transfer paper and transfer gel for the very first time. I was reading quite carefully what it says on the back of the transfer paper because I was not sure exactly how you're supposed to do it. And you're gonna see just in a second that I made a mistake. It's a rocky mistake really, but sometimes I wish I would be an engineer by profession and I could think things thoroughly. So I wanted to the paper to be, the biggest part of the paper to be on the right hand side and the smallest on the left hand side, and that's how I applied the transfer gel. And then when I was about to put the paper, I realized that actually it goes all the way, or it goes the other way around, yeah. Well, as I said, a rocky mistake. So when you do that, you use a transfer gel and then you have to let it dry for at least 30 minutes. And when it's well dry, I left it I think for a few hours, I had something else to do. You apply a layer of water and then you just scrub with your fingers the paper or the back paper from the transfer. Until the whole project is smooth, and that will mean that the transfer is well done, and this gives you kind of like a rub-on effect. So basically that's it. You don't have the edges. If you apply the transfer gel or transfer paper properly, you will not have the rough edges. This piece I'm using right now, it's actually the rest from the homemade stickers I made. So I had these circles, and around the circle there is also a kind of a sticker. So I removed the sticker after painting the circles, and I'm using it up for my projects because I kind of like it. I like the colors, I like the texture, and the shape is funny. So, and since we are in this particular color for the Lindy's challenge, I said, well, it's gonna work beautifully. And now I'm gonna be using Stencil Girl product or Stencil Girl, I'm reading what is written, Stencil Girl stencil and the cream paste from Stamperia also. I have to admit to something, I actually don't like working too much with stencils, especially with stencils and modeling pastes, because I have to wash the stencil, I have to wait until it dries, and usually I finish with a mess. So I don't know. Since I'm a stamping kind of girl, and this time though I decided to add embossing powder. This one is Lindy's Lederhosen Laurel, oh la la, onto the paste, which is still wet, it's not dry yet. And so like that I will dry them both together with a heat gun. I will heat set it, and like that I don't need to apply embossing pad. The embossing powder will stick to the wet paste, and I'll get the effect like with the embossing. And of course a lot of distress because I just sprinkle it all over the place. And because of the glue I used earlier for the transfer, I decided to add some white color with Lindys. Let me check, that was Frozen Jack Frost. And so I add some white to the page to get the page a little bit whiter. And now I'm gonna be adding more colors. If you know me, you know I add colors a little bit randomly, but still I want to keep the whole kind of a focal point, which is, well, not really a point, but you know, the focal thing which is happening on the page. So all the stamping, all the stickers, all the paints goes kind of following this this whole idea, this shape. And then, yes, in the middle somewhere of this shape, or no more actually off to the side, I'll add the real focal point. And this time I added water with my brush to the page, and now I'm adding Tibeatan Poppy Teal. It's one of my favorite Lindys colors. I'm a fan of teals in general, so here we go. And as you can see, I'm adding a little bit of paint, a little bit of water, just so the paint also flows freely, but also gives me these different shades, like, or maybe not shades, but you know, in some places the paint is quite visible, quite strong, in other is more clear. So this is gonna be my focal point. One of the photos I found on Pixabay. Pixabay is like a place where you can find photos which are free for commercial use. So I'll try to remember to give you a link to that site in the description box below. If I forget, please remind me in one of the comments, because like that you can really have nice photos and there is no attribution required. So I use that quite often. And now, of course, time for a little bit of splatter. I will alternate the splatter a little, so on the top I added the teal splatter, on the bottom later I will add black splatter because the bottom of the car is black. And now this is one of the newest Lindys Gang Magicals. This is Martina's Marigold. Martina's Marigold. Martina is one of my teammates, a beautiful artist, and so she designed her own color, which is super cool. So for the very first time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be using this color. I'm very happy to do so, and it's really nice to also, you know, use the color of somebody you actually know. I actually met Martina in one of those days at the Creative World in Frankfurt. So she's very nice girl, and I'm happy to work with something she put her heart and soul to invent. And I'm gonna be adding a little bit of other magical, some and Lovin some. And as you can see, I prefer sometimes to work this way with magicals. This way means adding some water on my working surface and then dissolving the magicals in the water. And like that, I'm sure I have the color I want. Because to be honest, for the color challenges, we are doing inspiration based on the color mood board or color board. And so, you know, with magicals you can get some surprises because they are just mixture of different kind of powders. And as you can see in the open jar, the jar is gonna give you a yellow color, but the powder is actually pinkish. So when I do the color challenges or inspiration, I prefer to actually apply magicals this way, like that. I'm sure I'm gonna get the yellow I wanted to get. And I was showing you guys, I'm gonna be doing some stamping. This is a stamp from Aall Create, stamp number 116. And my favorite ink, Jet Black Archival ink. I also like very much StazOn, but I ran out of it, and lately I bought a new one, so I'm gonna probably alternate in between those two inks. They are inks which are actually drying very fast. You cannot emboss with them because they are drying too fast, but they will not dilute if you add later paints or water. So this is great if you are planning to add some more medium to your page or project. I do have to tell you, I absolutely love the design on Aall Create stamps, but I have such a hard time to actually get a clear image, which for me is not a big problem when I'm doing pages like that, because I like the distress look. So I don't really do the stamp image of something and then build the scene around it, and so the stamp image has to be visible. Like, for example, I don't know, I take a stamp of a flower and I'll do that. That happens also, but not very often. I like distress in distress look, and for that distress look I use Aall Create stamps. For others it's very hard for me to work with them, because they actually even though I leave the ink on them, that's the advice I heard, for the best performance of these stamps you should leave the permanent ink on them, so like that they are not very gluey and they will work better, but I still have problems. But either way, I manage on this page and I'm happy with it, and as I said, I absolutely love their designs. And now I'm using a fantasy dye, and I will add also some masking tape. I'm not sure if you can hear the humming sound from time to time in the background. I apologize for that. My computer is really bad. I have to actually, that's why I don't like also recording voiceovers, because when I do that, I have like maybe 2 minutes of recording possible, probably even less, and the computer starts fuming, so it's overheating, and I have no idea what to do about that, so I have to stop. I have to wait until it actually cools down and then continue again. So I'm kind of losing the momentum of speaking, and I have to come back to the you know, to the whole process again, which is kind of annoying. I hope it does not annoy you too much, and I'm gonna leave you now for a moment quietly, and I'll come back at the end of the video. Now I will be adding Midnight Rendezvous Raven. This is another spray from Lindys. And I'm gonna be adding some splatter because, as you can see on the photo, the bottom of the photo is kind of dark. Well, not kind of, it's dark. So I wanted to make this connection between my page and the and the photo. Later I will add also a little bit of splatter with water-soluble oil pastels from Prima, just because the water-soluble pastels are giving me a splatter super fine, very tiny, which I cannot really achieve too much with other sprays or paints. And this is a kind of a piece of metal I found somewhere. And I'm gonna be, I just wanted to add some metal. I have no idea why. You just, well, just also to make a connection to the photo. You know, there is a bumper in metal, I think, or I don't know what that part is, but so I decided to add it with the 3D matte gel, and I'm adding stickers from Team Holtz. And then I'll add a little bit more of splatter and a tiny accents of tiny crackle accents, exactly. And before I'll do that, I'll actually also darken the edges of the page with Archival ink. So thank you so much for watching. This is it, that's the last touches. I hope you subscribe to the channel if you like what I do. Please don't forget to press the bell button to get notified about my videos. I wish you a really beautiful sunny day. We need some sun, and I hope I'll see you soon. Big hugs. Bye bye.